Boola! And welcome to the Once Upon an Island podcast, number 2 on the charts, number 1 in your hearts. I'm your host, Wesley, and of course, I am joined by my lovely co-host,
Mary.
I say of course, Mary, but this is actually old school. I mean, we're going old school.
Old school, of course.
For those who listen to the podcast during 39 through 45, you would know that Mary and I did the Wednesday night podcast. And this week, for once, we're actually doing a Wednesday night podcast because Rebecca had a scheduling issue. So Rebecca will be doing winter analysis tomorrow. That's the old school way this podcast used to roll.
That is true.
Yep. And then we started fostering children, so we had to switch up things. But anyways, we're doing it for one night only. Next week, we do have a guest. I won't say who it is, but it is somebody that everybody knows. You will not know who this is. Let's put it that way.
You will not know.
You will not know. You will not.
Right.
Correct. Hey, so big news, everybody. If you listened and you clicked on the podcast on YouTube and you're like, whoa, it didn't start with some pre-roll ad. Well, we can thank the sponsor because yes, we actually accepted a sponsor for this episode. And I said the only condition to accepting the sponsorship, besides, of course, number 1, thinking that's legit, was if there's no ads. No ads. We're not doing any ads. So thank them. The sponsor for this podcast is survivorstars.chat or Survivor BBC. Basically, Mary,
yes,
anyone could join this for free. It's basically a Survivor group chat. Think like Instagram DMs, text group chat that you can join. Has 38 Survivor stars from past and current seasons with people like Rachel, Marianne, those are winners. Rizgod, Sophi B, yes, people from current seasons, and others like Kelly Wentworth, Tyson Apostle, Rob Sesternino, and Christian Ubicki. All big names.
Nice.
And smaller names. I want to point out that in the instructions I was given, the smaller names are not put in here. Those are the names I was told to mention. Anyways, so there's apparently over 10,000 Survivor fans in this group chat. Wow. You can join it for free. Link in the description. And they said you won't regret it. There's also weekly prediction games, Survivor trivia, and giveaways. If you end up regretting it, it's not on me. They said you won't regret it, Mary.
I mean, if you're this much of a fan, then yeah, you probably will not regret it.
Imagine interacting with people and you like end up regretting it and you're like, the ad said I wouldn't regret it. All right. Link in the description for this. Thank you again for sponsoring the podcast. We greatly appreciate it. And again, no ads throughout the rest of this podcast. You can listen on YouTube, wherever, no ads. All right. With that, let's move on. So we have the merge episode, Mary.
Yes.
The merge is here.
Overall, I thought it was a really good episode. I think I was excited to do this on a Wednesday night. I was excited to shake things up, first of all, but I was also excited because it was the merge episode because so far it's been like so predictable. Yes. So now things are actually getting shook up as we were told in the beginning of the episode. So yeah, it was really interesting. I mean, I was not quite expecting Nate to go home, although I did put a lot of votes on him in fantasy last week.
I put none on him on fantasy this week. None.
I did. But yeah, I think I was excited to see like Sage keep blossoming. Like last week was a really good episode for her, but this week it was like, man, Sage seems like the one to beat at this point.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying it was a really good episode for her. I was excited to see some actual gameplay happening. There's some smart moves happening, some dumb moves happening, some drama. Yeah, I mean, it was a good episode in my opinion. One of the best of this season so far.
Sage was given like multiple episodes where just bowel movements were her only point of contact. And then she got content finally. It's kind of reminded me of, not an apt comparison, but Genevieve. Genevieve had basically nothing for 4 episodes. But like she didn't win neither. I don't think Sage is either.
I didn't say she was going to win.
Oh, okay.
I just said that we're finally getting to see her playing because as you've said up to this point, it's all been just like joke Savannah or joke Sage, and that's all we see. So, but we know that these people are here to play, and in general, people are here playing a good game. Like, there's not people just sitting out on the beach talking about pimples and farts the whole time. Like, there's a reason they're on Survivor. So I'm glad that we're seeing the reason that Sage is on Survivor.
We're going to go through the episode chronologically, but I do want to throw out there that Jeff mentioned Survivor 50. Do you think that caused a kick in the pants for many people?
Apparently it did, although
Imagine just playing nonchalantly and then Jeff mentions it and you're like, oh, oh yeah, I should actually play.
I should want to keep going. I don't know. I guess maybe to some people that might be like a motivation, like, oh yeah, I want to be the next Rob or whatever, whoever who plays continual back-to-back.
We haven't had a returnee season, and last one they filmed was 2019, so it's been 6 years.
Mm-hmm. So I'm sure that yes, it was motivational to some people. To me, it felt, I don't know, it felt a little strange because he's never done that before. That I remember.
I don't think it's ever been an open. I don't think there's ever been a returnee season where they openly promote it ahead of time. Like there have been returnee seasons, but let's say, for example, Winners at War. Like, what are you going to do on 39? Be like, hey, whoever, and that wasn't even true because whoever won 39 wasn't going to be on there.
Of course.
So then you go back before that, Game Changers. Like you're going to be like, I'm openly promoting on Millennials versus Gen X. Hey, if you're a big character, we'll put you on Game Changers.
Yeah, that makes more sense because it's returning. So sure.
Whereas 50, they announced 50 back during 48 with all the voting and stuff. Mm-hmm. So it's public knowledge. It's not, and some of those other ones, they could have been like last minute deciding what they're going to do. Here at this point, as they're filming 49, they've decided what they're doing. They're like, hey, there are spots open. Well, they didn't say how many spots. They didn't say anything like that.
It wasn't quite wide open like Christina said. But yes, he said spots were still available.
Wow.
So it should be a kick in the pants because it kept getting brought up after he said it.
Let's theorize, Mary. Who do you think from this cast will make it on to Survivor 50? If only like everybody and their mother already knew.
If only it hadn't been announced months ago.
Right, I know. So when he said that on the show, at first I was like, we already know. But I was like, oh, no, wait. There are people who just normally casually watch, like your family and my family, who watch the show, who probably have zero idea who are coming back for 50. So for us hardcores who listen to podcasts like this, we already know.
For sure. Yeah.
We know it's Savannah and the Rizgod. But if you're watching casually, like a normal person, like you and I watch Amazing Race pretty casually. I really enjoy Amazing Race, but I'm not like listening to podcasts and going super deep on that show.
You're not into the lore.
The lore. I mean, I love Amazing Race and I make some videos about it right now, but yeah, it's definitely not the same. I'm saying my relationship with Amazing Race and Survivor. So I could see like Amazing Race announced on the one that's happening right now, like, hey, we have spots open next season. That would be a genuine surprise to me. I'd be like, shoot, I don't even know who it is.
Sure.
Not that I think they're doing that. I'm just saying if they didn't announce that. So anyways, I do think it was a good idea to put that there. Apparently it was brought up again later. It sounded more like the way it was described though was a talking to. They said, didn't Sophi B say it was a talking to? It didn't sound like motivation. It sounded like Uncle Jeff was
getting on to us for our bad gameplay so far.
So far, the season's been very predictable. Cut the cameras. Cut the cameras. Guys, this season's been predictable. Cut the cameras.
Can you please be more interesting?
Yes. Can you make a better season? And he like dangles the keys, dangles the opportunity of being on 50 in front of them to make them actually do something. I mean, in a way, kind of.
That is a motivation. Yeah, motivational talk. Just maybe not the kind we're used to from Uncle Jeff.
Yeah, well. All right, so we open the episode up and Jawan says, Sage, me, and Steven are knocking out the top red guys, calling ourselves bottoms up. I did not think this was gonna pan out when they said it. I figured we were just setting up something for the red people to just like snuff, basically. Mm-hmm. I thought this is just the show is presenting, okay, here's some people who are planning something, but it's not going to work out. I didn't know it was actually going to work out.
Right. I mean, you never know until obviously pen gets put to paper, but even in the beginning, I don't know. I was thinking, well, we're hearing a lot of this from Jawan, which so far, again, similar to
unreliable
Sage.
Narrator.
Yeah, it's just been like, why do we really care what Jawan is saying about the game? But to be fair, it did pan out. So yes, I was
one down, three to go.
Right. I guess we were both like, oh, well, that's an interesting development.
Actually, I don't know if they have Sophi B in their minds as a top red guy. I think it was just Nate, Savannah, and the Rizgod.
Those were their main targets. Yes. Right. Because who else was voting in Savannah and Rizgod's and Nate's mind? Who else was voting with them? Obviously Sophi B. Then they think it's Sage and Jawan. Who else would have been on their side?
I know. I'm just saying, I think the way Jawan and them are thinking about it, they're really just thinking Nate, Savannah, and the Rizgod. I don't think Sophi B even crossed their mind because how much do they really know about Sophi B and this group of people?
That's true.
Yeah. And how important is her to them? At the moment, she's just a blue person. The blue people are being ignored, and then for good reason. So we have the merge. And MC, we got a reminder of everybody's advantage. We're reminded that Rizgod has an idol. MC's like, I have a beware advantage I got to go take advantage of after the challenge. And Sophi B reminds us she has a knowledge is power. Okay, we're all caught up. We know what everyone has. Then everybody shows up on the beach in their boats.
Oh my gosh. Blue. I mean, not blue. Yes, Blue.
The new Blue.
I get all mixed up. Basically, Sage, Joanne, and Steven are just not. This is the first time I've ever seen someone make the merge and be so lackadaisical about it. They're just like, man, people are coming here. Man, we have to talk to people. Oh my goodness, what should we do?
And they're still talking about getting their story straight like 1,000 times.
Oh my word!
Hey, it worked.
We're on the same page. Our story. We're on the same page. And what should we like? I don't know. This was like the only time I really like Steven. I really like Sage. I think Joanne's playing a good game so far. But like this was the first time I'm just like, what are you all doing? All three of you. Like you should be first of all jumping out of your pants that you made the merge. Like you should be so excited about that. But they were just, I don't know. I know they were nervous about explaining the Shannon vote. Sure. And that's fine. But you made it to the merge and probably the jury. Like that's a huge milestone they should be really excited and proud about. So yeah, I thought it was very suspicious. Like no one else commented on it. But the fact that they were just laying in the shelter, waiting, and then casually walking down the path. Well, the other
people, they don't know what these three are doing. Yeah. These three were up taking a poop or something. I mean, it is Sage.
Three of them.
It is Sage.
Yeah.
I
know they were all excited and they got to the beach and they're all hugging. So I'm sure it wasn't that noticeable. But of course, to us as the audience who gets a more complete picture.
Right.
Yeah, I was mind blown. I was like, what are they doing?
Well, they need to get their story straight. And I was like, okay, this story's going to fall flat. Bottoms up isn't going to work. What did I know? They go and tell the story. Nate falls for it. And I was like, here comes Savannah to not fall for it. Savannah fell for it. She fell for why they voted off Shannon.
I think that, well, there was an element of truth in their story because they did say Shannon wanted Joanne out, which is like, true. Shannon did want Joanna eventually. So it wasn't, you always should have an element of truth in your story. They
expanded upon the truthful elements
also
to make their lie sound more believable.
The fact that they just were like, yeah, she just went off the deep end. She was just paranoid and crazy. Not saying that Shannon couldn't do it, but Shannon was already kind of in the atmosphere, if you will, of saying strange things and doing weird things.
So it wasn't too far off.
It wasn't too far off. And I think they were just feeling the pressure of lying. So it was just, too much pressure, apparently.
They got away with this.
But they got away with it.
I think that if I were in their position and my plan was to cover up the Shannon vote, to just say, Steven had an idol.
Yes.
Steven had it's so simple. It's not overly complicated. Steven found an idol at this new beach and he played it. I mean, it wasn't that hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Keep it simple, stupid, right? Because we're pretending we're against Steven going into this vote. Now this vote's happened. Everybody knows where they stand, which is why I love when we reach the merge because we get to finally find out where everybody actually stands in this game for once, and what their position of power is. And it's like, my goodness, it's about time. But yeah, I just don't understand why not just make it simple. It worked, but it felt like a lot of unnecessary, complicated steps to get there.
A little bit.
But it worked.
It worked. And you know what? Also, here's when I also started being like, Sage is kind of climbing up the hill here a little bit. Because we hear Nate buying into the lie immediately. We hear Savannah, and she seems to be buying into it.
She's bought
for the most part. I don't know if I didn't know about that.
She didn't give a single hint that she wasn't buying into it.
Well, the thing about Savannah is she gets hit with a punch and she moves on. You know what I mean? Like just rolls with it. She moves on with the game. She gets the information, she adjusts, and she keeps going. But anyways, what I was saying about Sage was we get the nice, sweet, like Savannah saying, "Oh, Sage, you've always been with us. I trust you. We're 100%."
So overly sweet.
Well, it's worked.
Savannah,
it has worked on everyone so far.
Oh, yeah.
Except Sage, but she hasn't tried it that much on Sage. Cut to Sage's confessional of just being like, yeah, I don't believe Savannah. I know she just wants me for a number, and that's fine, but I don't trust her as far as I can throw her,
That's
basically.
kind of Sage's MO, though. That's kind of how she approaches. I have yet to see Sage have a moment with somebody, and she's like, wow, this person's really my friend. Like, Sage, I feel like her default is not trusting, which is, I believe, a good thing to have.
It's a good thing for Survivor. I think she does genuinely trust Joanne and Steven, though. And Sophie, Yellow Sophie.
Sure, but I haven't seen, I guess.
We haven't got an emotional connection with her. Yeah.
When somebody's nice towards Sage, Sage's default is, press X for doubt, you know.
But she also has a really good radar for lying, apparently. So I think, again, I just think it was a good episode for her. She is playing well. She's reading people very well.
Imagine if the show hadn't basically treated her like a joke character for 3 or 4 episodes. We might actually be taking this a bit more serious. I mean, I'll move her up my ranking, sure. But at the same time, it's like the show treated her like a joke.
Yeah.
Why did they do this? Give her something in the beginning so at least we could buy into it.
Right.
Anyways, yes. So we then have, I'm calling it an advantage search. It's really just a time killer. It's real, not much, but Mary, what was this advantage search?
So there's another boat that comes to the beach, unloads a big, I want to say chest.
Yeah, it was a chest.
Yeah, that's locked. Savannah reads the note. Basically, there's keys hidden, as we said, along the walking path at eye height in the jungle.
Always at eye height.
Yeah, when you find a key, you must take it and go try it and see if it will unlock, and then go back and get another one if it doesn't work. And whoever unlocks the chest gets the advantage for the immunity challenge.
Yep. And what Savannah ends up, sorry, not Savannah ends up getting, Sage ends
We
up
keep doing it all night, Savannah, Sage.
I know, bro. These S's throwing us off. And like none of them have been voted off yet. Like half the cast is S.
Well, we could have got a yellow Sophie out tonight, and that would have been a little less confusing.
It would have helped a little bit.
But no, she won
Sophie
immunity.
S, Sophi B, Sage. Oh, Shannon did go last week. Sophie S, Sophi B, Sage, and Savannah.
And Steven.
Oh my gosh. No, half the cast is S's.
Yes.
Yeah. We lost Shannon last week, and that helped out a little bit. But like, I don't think Shannon was the one that's confusing with other people with the names.
No.
SA, Sage. Savannah. Yeah, those two mixed
Sage got the
advantage.
Then
there's two. Yeah, it's just so much, man. All right. So we then cut to Rizgod. Rizgod wants Sophie S out. He says, plus it'd be a bonus to not have to say yellow Sophie or blue Sophie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, this has been a little theme going on. I think it was last week. Sophie S basically said, I want to be the only Sophie. We get this talk from Rizgod, and then later Jeff's like, what do you guys want to call yourselves? And it did not seem like a conversation.
Oh no, this was
it was awkward.
Yeah, yellow Sophie says, well, we could do yellow Sophie or blue Sophie, or I will be Sophie and she'll be Soph. And then Jeff says, well, which do you want? Like, just pick already. I'm going to pick for you. You're Sophie and you're Soph.
Yeah, it seemed like there was conversation cut out here.
Right, exactly.
There's probably more of a discussion, and the show's like, this is not worth airing on TV.
No, I don't know why. Whatever. Who cares?
They did need to explain why all of a sudden he was calling her Soph, I guess, instead of Sophie.
That's true.
But like, why didn't they come up with Sophie S and Sophie B? Why didn't they come up with like, what's their middle names? Couldn't they not go by a middle name? I guess I don't really love my middle name, but if like there's another Wesley on the island, I would do that rather than be calling Wes or yellow Wes or blue. You know, I wouldn't want to go by a color. I think the color, I'm glad they didn't go by the color. I think the color kind of defines who you are in terms of your alliance in the game. So it's actually better to go by Sophie and Soph versus the colors, because while the colors sound good, it's like, yeah, but we're not on those tribes anymore. So it just sounds, I personally wouldn't want that. I don't know. What do you guys think in the comments? Do you like the Sophie, Soph, or I just don't understand why nobody else went with. Why are we the only ones going Sophie S, Sophie B?
I really don't know.
I don't know.
That does seem logical, but
it does to me too. Usually that's how it works.
It's just too much to say.
Too much logic. All right. Well, Sophi B and Alex then have a talk, and this is, I think, what we were all kind of suspecting when these two met back up, is that while we were not aligned, but while we were on the same tribe in the beginning, a lot has happened since then, and now we're on opposing sides. It was a very respectful conversation, but basically ended with, we're not on the same side. Right. And that's okay.
Well, I think Sophi B assumed that they were on the same side. Yeah. I think she left the conversation thinking he was a number, but I could be wrong.
She said, I'm trying to get you in, but it just didn't sound. Yeah. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying it didn't sound, it sounded like I want to work with you, but also it wasn't like we're against each other either. It was more of like, then nope, they're not. And I think I'm not saying, but I think there's something here, because these two, I think, could get back together. I think they could work back together again.
It's definitely possible.
I don't think it's off the table with these two. Whereas I think there are other people, like, I don't think Sage is going to work with Savannah unless it's begrudging.
Right.
Like, I think that's a lot harder to make a connection. There's other people this episode are like anti-Savannah, which is, by the way, is fantastic considering we all assume Savannah is the winner.
Right. Yeah, this was a definitely a shaking episode. I would not be surprised if Savannah went home, which is crazy.
I would be genuinely surprised if Savannah went home.
After this, I would be a little bit surprised,
I'll be very surprised.
Not like crazily surprised. I don't even on the next week on Survivor, it was all Savannah is the villain. Yeah. It's Savannah, which if she is a really good winner, which we have suspected,
only because of her try placement on 50. Yeah.
Well, she's a good player. She's
I'm saying that's why we suspect her winning, though.
Right.
Yeah.
She could, weasel her way out of this, which is what Sage said in this episode. She said, if we don't vote out Savannah, she could just like charm everyone and talk to everyone and keep going. And I really want her out, but it didn't happen. But next time on Survivor, it's like, oh, Savannah's the villain. We want to get Savannah. She's the worst. And even Sophi B was sitting on the beach talking to Sage, being like, she's really picking on you. Or, so Sophi B seems to be switching alliances because, of course, you just want to be in the majority. But yeah. Anyways, what were we talking about?
Well, apparently we were talking about the odds of Savannah going, which I don't really buy because here's what I heard. Jeff tonight said there are open spots for 50.
Mm-hmm.
Which means you need to do something / make a name for yourself. Right. I don't think Savannah can go next week. Okay, so let's assume that the two people they brought back from 50, Rizgod and Savannah, that neither of them win. If somebody else wins and there's not like either A, that person couldn't do 50 for whatever reason, or B, the show didn't like them as much as they like Savannah and Rizgod. Like, fine. Like, that's fine. That happens. But what I am saying is that Rizgod and Savannah now have to do something. They have to accomplish something for Jeff to go, okay, I want you on 50.
Mm-hmm.
And we haven't seen it yet, obviously. So now that they're underdogs,
right?
In theory, they're going to they're going to come back and either A, win, or B, you know what I mean? They got to do something here to now earn their spots in 50.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't thought about that until right now as I'm saying it, but like, yeah, by Jeff saying that, he's saying you have to qualify yourself. You have to you're not going to just we're not just giving out, you got to earn your spot.
Right.
You didn't have to earn the merge, but you got to earn your spot on 50.
It would make a really great story if, as you said, the winner of 49 is now an underdog like Savannah and the numbers are against her and she makes it through anyway. So
and if you want to do some comparisons here, Savannah and Russell Hantz have a lot of comparisons in terms of just like their villainous personalities and people not trusting them and whatever. And of course, the correlation of both seasons being right before a big one, Samoa and now 49 being right before Heroes vs. Villains and 50. Of course, we don't know if 50 will be good. Well, we're assuming it is, but it is 24 people in 26 days. It sounds like a lot of chaos. I'm not sure if it'll play out well, but we'll see. I hope so. But anyways, what I'm saying is that they got, so we have these like basically prequel seasons with the villainous characters, both of them. And while Russell Hantz is obviously way worse than Savannah, person wise, from what we can tell on the show.
Yeah, she's still more likable.
Came into the merge down. Now, Savannah didn't know she was down.
Right.
Russell Hantz knew he was down going into the merge. And when they made that flip and got out Eric and Samoa, it was huge for the Foe alliance. It didn't secure them reaching the final four, but shoot, did it help a lot to put that crack into that alliance, into that whole tribe, because they were down 8-4. Savannah here, I don't know what the numbers are, but it's her, Rizgod, and Sophi B versus everybody. So it's 7-3. Apparently. Theoretically, at the moment, 7-3, unless something else I don't know about has happened in the episodes. So I'm just saying the correlate. I don't know if correlation's the right word, but it's all a circle. Right. Time is a flat circle. We're doing 19 in some ways again, in just some ways. There's just, there's some side by side comparisons. Do you see what I'm saying, Mary? Right. No, I do. I know you've heard me talk about Samoa / Russell Hantz. Plus you've seen those seasons, so you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Anyways, just throwing it out there. So that's my thing is it's even if these two don't win, it's not that they're guaranteed to win. It's just that they both have to do something to earn their spots in 50. And so now we see everything's been set up. What are they going to do to get on 50? Sure. They have an idol. They don't know it yet, but they have a knowledge is power. They don't know it as group.
I don't think Sophie's she is with them. No.
You think she's going to flip?
Yeah, she's definitely wherever the numbers are.
Oh, in that case, it's Rizgod and Savannah versus everybody.
Yes.
Oh.
That's my thought.
I thought Sophi B was still with them.
No, not after this vote. I mean, she voted with them this vote.
Yeah. You think she's willing to flip?
Oh, yes.
Okay. Wow. Shoot, dude. I don't know. I guess we'll see. All right. Well, I will say something that made me immediately feel good about Savannah. I really
this was a good
This
scene.
is a very good scene. Savannah shows up at the beach and basically Sandra's the situation. She's like, where's the chicken?
Mm-hmm.
Goes and finds it, grabs it with Alex, and she just grabs the machete and chops the head off. Dude, that is Sandra. Sandra on Game Changers, Mary, JT caught a goat and it was a baby goat. And he's like, oh no, we can't kill this because it doesn't. It's
a baby goat.
The mom, the only reason we caught, I think they caught the mom or they caught the baby goat. They're like, the only reason we caught it is because it's a mom and a baby goat. He's like, we can't do this. He's like, JT had a moral conundrum. And Kendra's like, no, it's food. It's food. We kill the baby goat. We kill the goat. It's just food. Don't name it. She's like, don't get attached to this thing. It's food. Like that's Sandra. That's Savannah.
Yes.
That's what I mean.
This was totally the opposite of what happened a couple weeks ago. Obviously,
they're all crying on the beach.
Savannah gets the machete and does the killing herself. Like that's awesome.
10 out of 10.
Right.
10 out of 10. If I had any doubts about Savannah, I am now a fan of Savannah on the show. Also, did that earn her spot on 50? Killing that chicken?
That could have helped. Maybe.
R.I.P. Teriyaki, as Masson said in our group chat.
As they were sitting and eating it, Savannah does this whole hype. Guys, we made the merge and we're eating chicken and one of us is a millionaire. And everyone's clapping and cheering. It's just this big moment for her, obviously, clearly.
Yeah.
But that is why we know Savannah is dangerous. She's really good at talking. She's really good at the hype, the convincing people.
In Samoa, if we're correlating these seasons, Natalie killed a rat.
Did she with a machete and did she make a speech afterwards?
Squealed about it. I think she hit it with the stick, but still.
Yeah.
That was the winner of that season.
It was a very fun scene and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I just love how ruthless she was. She's like, as soon as I saw that chicken, I knew I was going to eat it. Grabs the machete. Alex just holds it for, by the way, again, props to Alex who, as we learned a couple weeks ago, was Alex is manned up twice. Props to Alex, props to Savannah.
Yeah.
After seeing everybody else wuss out on this, and everyone else is enjoying that chicken.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I didn't have
no crying on the beach this time.
Nope. Yep. Didn't have an issue with the chicken. Yeah, we've moved on. So, all right. We then go to the immunity challenge. Mary, can you explain this one? Because even I was a little confused at first. I'm like, why isn't everybody competing for individual immunity?
Okay, so there are two sections to the challenge.
Oh, wait, can we pause real quick? Sorry, before you explain.
Yeah.
These balls that they used to push in the challenge you're about to explain, we saw these in person when we went to Fiji last summer, but they were painted in 50 colors.
They were.
So not that that's a spoiler, I feel by any means, but
massive spoiler.
The balls.
Alert.
Quote me, the balls will return for 50. All right, go ahead, Mary.
All right. So there are two sections to this challenge. In the first section, they divide up in two teams of 5. Although Sage is not a part of the first section because she got the advantage. So the teams of 5 have to dig out a boulder, push it through obstacles, collect a machete, chop a rope and continue through the obstacles, then climb up the boulder onto a platform to finish I call it a honeycomb word puzzle. You know what I'm talking about. And then the group of 5 that win, they get the merge feast plus Savannah and move on to the individual immunity challenge. And in this portion, it's where the player have to hold a pole with a ball on top while standing on a balance beam that gradually gets smaller as you move down. And we see yellow Sophie winning this portion
on
of
this
the game.
Podcast, just Sophie S and Sophie B. We're not going to.
All right, I'm trying to be consistent.
No, that's okay. It's just Sophie S.
Sophie S won the individual immunity portion of this challenge. The very first individual immunity.
I don't know if they've always done this. I said this to you while we were watching it, but during the challenge, the fact that usually when they do this challenge, they make it to the bottom of the thing, and that's when most people get eliminated. A lot of people are getting eliminated before we even got to the bottom of the balancing act. I think it's because, and I could be wrong, the ball is bigger that they're balancing and they're using only one hand. I don't know if they were using 2 in the past. Somebody check me on this. Go let me know for real. Because I think the last time they did this, I don't know when they did this one, I know in 47 they did this exact same bouncing, but it was like that half moon circular where they bounce that ball. That's different.
That's a little.
When was the last time they bounced a ball like this? And was it this big? Because I feel like the ball was bigger because remember, everything's on a time crunch. You have this challenge going on for too long. Got to get it over with. So we can boat them back to camp. So we can boat them back here for the tribal council. True. And we gotta have them enough time on the beach to do their stuff. So
well, we do know that the challenges take much less time now. And I'm sure there are elements to it such as that. I don't remember how big the balls were, or if they used one hand or two hands. I have no idea. You're probably right.
I do really enjoy that we just had a normal merge. And there was no earn the merge. Ideally, next week, there will be no splitting everybody up into two groups to do that stupid nonsense that they've been doing for like 8 or 9 seasons in a row now. We'll just have people who are just merged and they just play Survivor. Wow, what a novel concept. So I'm glad they did this season. With that, I do think that while half the people earn the meal, I think they all should have competed for immunity. That's just a personal thought, though. I understand that in theory, they basically earn their opportunity to win immunity, but I think they all should compete for immunity anyways. I think the first challenge should have been the reward, quote unquote, for food, and then the second should have been for immunity. Yeah.
Sure, I guess. I don't really care as long as we're not doing the mergatory stuff, which we haven't. So I'm fine with it.
Though this looked like they had an earn the merge, and did the Jake medevac change it? You know?
Oh,
I don't know. I have no idea. I'll have to listen to the propaganda podcast. I'm sure Jeff talks about there. All right. So basically, Sophie yes, wins immunity. And that's when Jeff announces. Oh, he announced at the challenge that spots on 50 were up for grabs.
Right before. I think it was before the individual. Portion,
before I thought he announced that before the. No, he announced that we gave him all the black buffs. Did he not? I think he did.
Sure. Yes, you're right. Sorry.
Yeah.
So now it's time to play the game, guys. We haven't really been playing it so far, but now it's time to play.
Again, I think there was more to that conversation because later on it was a talking to is how it was described. It was not described as a motivational speech. It was not described as an opportunity. It was described as a talking to. Turn off the cameras. I'm going to talk to these people. All right. For those wondering, Jeff, I don't think they do this anymore. I'm not saying they don't. I know that in the past, pre-40, Jeff would have the cameras turned off whenever he gave them a dressing down, basically, the players. If they were not A, responding to his questions how he wanted, or B, they were like, basically anything time Jeff thought they weren't doing the right thing, he would dress them down. Well, it's funny to us.
Well, sure.
It's funny to them in the moment.
I'm sure it wasn't funny
based on what people revealed on podcasts. But yeah. All right. So my next note after all that is Sage farts. So there you go. Gosh. It happened during the meal.
No, at the meal. This is when we start seeing.
I need to have a question.
Okay.
Yeah. Before we talk about the strategy at the meal, is that diet food?
Oh my gosh. No.
Okay, good. Sophie didn't seem to complain about it. Just making sure it wasn't diet food.
No.
All right, go ahead.
This is where we start seeing, I think, the editing show that definitely Sage and Juwan are going to go with Sophie. We hear from Sophie first, and she's so excited. She won immunity, she has food, and Sage and Juwan are with them. So those are her top 3 things she was thankful for. And then we get to Nate, and Nate's like, yay, food. We have the majority. Everything's great. Like, you never want to hear everything's really great because then you know it's not. Survivor loves to do that all the time. And he even said, on paper we've got all the numbers, and I was waiting for but it's Survivor and nothing's on the scenes. But nope, he was just like, yeah, we have the numbers and we're good. Yep. And that's it. Yep. And so you're like, oh no. That's when I was like, oh man, I think Nate's going home.
Too confident.
Survivor loves to do that. That everybody on Red. That everybody was probably saying, oh yeah, we have the numbers and everything's good and we're at the merge and we're all excited. Like, I'm sure there were many confessionals like that, but we hear Nate saying that.
I see. You're saying the choice of confessional. Right. That's another thing too. When you're thinking like they're doing this challenge, right? I don't know what time of day it is. I assume it's before lunch. They do this challenge and then they got to both them back and they got to like, not only have time to talk on the beach, they got time to do confessionals. They got to both them over. That's what I mean. Like, it's almost hard to comprehend until you and I went and we saw like, we heard like the actual times it takes to get from camp. So like we see the distance, like, no, 26 days really, 39 would have been better.
Oh yeah. 39,
obviously.
39 is always better.
Obviously. Yeah. But I also, it gives me more understanding as to why 39 was originally chosen. when they said 3-day cycles, basically 3-day cycles per person, one was 16 people.
Mhm.
Like it's because they need time to do challenges, to do, but to travel people from place to place, to do confessionals and not be in a rush and like, yeah.
Right.
But what are we going to do? What are you going to sit here and complain about it? They're not going to change it. They didn't change it for 50. They're not going to change it, you know? No, I think the only way that's getting changed, Mary, is if they change locations and the budget of that new location allots them to be able to do more days.
Yeah.
I don't even know if 39 would happen, but more than 26. More than 26.
I'd be fine with that. I mean, obviously we've been in Fiji forever and it is beautiful and it's a great place to shoot, but
it's a great place to take a vacation, which is what I say.
It's also like you will be traveling for 20 hours no matter where you fly from America. The United States.
Yeah, basically. Well, from LA, apparently it's a direct flight, but we don't live in LA.
Well, still a direct flight from LA to what?
Fiji.
The capital. And then from the capital, you have to take a boat out to the island.
Yeah.
And then from the island, you still have to take another boat out to camp.
Capital, it's to the, what was it? Where do we fly to? It wasn't the capital.
Okay.
But I know you
It was on the main island.
Yeah,
and
it was on the main island.
Then you still have to take a boat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that boat does take like an hour and a half. But anyway, still, point being is that it's a great place to vacation.
Yes.
But it has been a long time. I'm hoping that after 50 we change locations, but I don't think that's on the table. I have been looking though. I keep like checking and seeing if there's like, because when they announced that they were going to do the stay on location, there was I looked in the actual Fijian news and it was announced like, hey, Survivor's staying here through 50 or through, they didn't say through 50. They said through the summer of 2025 or whatever, or maybe they said through 50, but basically 2+2 is through 50.
Right.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen any announcement that they're staying there past 50, but also I feel like this would be news if they were going to another location.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we would have heard leaks about this, but also they haven't, I mean, I'm assuming they're staying in Fiji. I don't want to hype anybody up and saying they're leaving, but I am saying that there's been no official news that there's been a renewal to stay in Fiji. That's what I am saying. Nothing official. But Mary, you and I were there. It is perfectly set up for Jeff to golf cart everywhere and stay on one island for 25 out of 26 days.
Yes. It's very good for that.
It's very good for that. Remember when Jake got medevaced and you recognized the hut?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The
right by the daycare.
We walked right past it.
Yeah. We walked past the hut multiple times. Had no idea that's where Jake got medevaced. Had we known, we would have gotten a selfie there or something.
Oh my gosh.
Had I known, I would have.
Didn't get bitten by the snake, but here we are.
Yeah. All right. So, yes.
The merch
Sophia,
feast.
okay. So we have the merch feast. That happens. Anything important from that before we move on past the merch feast?
I mean, we've already talked about stage partying. So
yes,
I think the highlights have been hit.
The highlights have been hit. Correct. All right. So MC goes and looks for the idol.
Yeah.
Mary.
Oh man. Another really fun moment in the episode, I think. So MC, I just need alone time. I'm just so mad about the food, whatever. That's fine.
Savannah knows. Savannah knows.
Savannah knows. Yes, exactly. And Savannah goes looking for her. Her excuse is that she wanted the guys to have alone time at the camp, whatever. But she's all like casually talking to her, and they see the key ring at the exact same moment, and Savannah goes diving for it so drastically. I mean, MC gets it.
What if Savannah got in the key ring?
MC is taller and has longer arm reach. I mean, what is she going to do? Rip the chest out of MC's hand? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what would have happened if
Or
Savannah
I'll
had the
make
key
you
ring?
a deal if you... I don't know. I have no idea.
She already tried doing that, which, by the way, in the moment, she's like, I'm going to try this. But like, come on. You just died for the keys, Savannah.
Probably a little bit more action and less thought was happening there.
I love it.
But it was a fun scene. I think MC did the right thing by continuing with her search because it's obvious. Like, she said at this point, it's just you
ignore Savannah.
You don't need to lie. Like, she knows what you're doing. You're walking around with this paper in this chest. Like, I'm just getting firewood and I found this. Whatever, like she didn't lie and she still went out and got the idol. So
I think that MC, though, again, remember that they just finished this challenge and they have to go travel that day, same day. They don't have till tomorrow. I think MC, the only way to have done this differently would have been to wait for everyone to come back for the reward and then go out there with a trusted ally. Like, hey, we need to go talk strategy. Generally, when you do that, I feel like people respect that.
We'll leave you alone.
Yes. Like, it's not suspicious when you're with somebody, but it's suspicious when you're by yourself. And Savannah, that thing is why Savannah went and followed her. Like, went and see what she's doing. She's like, why is MC by herself all the way out there? Like, so, why didn't she be by herself just down on the beach?
Right.
Where I can see her.
Yeah, Yeah, that's
So
fair.
that little paranoia, a little paranoia there. Following
Who is
MC.
MC like really tight with though?
I would pull like Steven.
Yeah, that's
If I
true.
was her, I'd pull
She
Steven.
was really tight with Steven.
When Steven gets back, like, hey, Steven, I need to go find this thing. Can you help me out? And keep an eye out while I'm looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That probably would have been smarter, but I understand the rush because as we've already discussed, not only do you have to have this feast, get boated back to the island or wherever their feast is at, then everyone has to do their confessionals before tribal. So I think you do have to just take advantage of the time that you have when you have it. But if she had that luxury, then yes, getting Steven would have been
I don't know.
better.
This is the same MC that got tricked by Nate though on that journey, and that was like such an easy trick. So
sure.
If you told me MC is and I'm not saying this is the case. If you told me MC was a recent Survivor fan that's only watched like the new era of the show, like I'd believe you based on some of the things I've seen. Like this is to me feels like, and I'm
like
glad though, we need people who are not really good at Survivor, because I think if everyone's really good at Survivor, it's hard to like make things happen. You need people to be gullible / have, people need to have weaknesses to make things happen. Otherwise it just becomes, because really if everyone's good at Survivor, in theory, we just make a majority and we just steamroll. Because if you're really, it's like, what's that? There's that one meme where it's like, you're really dumb when you think just an alliance. An alliance. I was making a majority alliance to get to the end.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's peak thinking to think I'm going to do X, Y, blah, blah, make a resume, blah, blah, blah. But then it's like, actually, you're super intelligent if you just make an alliance. And like, it's true. Just make the majority alliance, just steamroll is the smart idea.
Right.
But you need people who I don't know. You need a variety of people. So I'm not knocking MC. I'm just saying it wouldn't surprise me if she was a recent fan and it happens. The show still recruits. I don't know why they were perpetuating that lie on the propaganda podcast. Maybe answer my question by saying propaganda podcast. But why they were pushing that lie of we don't recruit anymore. It was during 45, I think, when they said that. I could be wrong. It's 44, 45, 46, that time frame.
Right.
When they were pushing, we don't recruit. And it's like, what are you talking about? Like, you do. And then people have come out in the new era and said, I was recruited.
Okay. So as you were talking, I pulled up MC's profile.
Yeah. From her preseason stuff?
Yes. In her question, what's something we never know from looking at you? She says season 47 was the first season I ever watched.
Okay. See?
Then I quickly became obsessed and binge watched half the season.
All right.
And now here I am.
Okay. So see what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, okay. How do I say this? It's really easy to tell by how somebody plays, how deep of a fan, how recent of a Survivor fan they are, how deep a fan they are. And it's not to judge. Like, I want people to watch the show. I want if you are 49's your first season ever, fantastic. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying you can tell as a super fan or whatever, a longtime fan, recognizing, okay, how deep in the lore, how much does this person know? How long have they been around Survivor to know like, how did she fall for the Nate trick? Why did she do this? Like, I would have waited for Steve to get back if I was personally MC. Who's my best ally? All right, let's go look. Like, it's a classic move and it works for a reason.
Right.
You keep an eye out. And then somebody comes by, you just act like you're having a conversation. Oh yeah. Like, talk about cupcakes or whatever. We saw that Winners of War when they like pretended. I know you don't remember this because I don't think you've watched that since it was live, but
I have not.
I think Sandra and somebody else, they were like, I'm sorry if I messed up the names on this one, but I specifically remember like I have the scene burned in my brain of like, they're sitting there talking strategy, and then somebody walks behind them, and so they start talking about cupcakes and how amazing cupcakes are and how they want to have cupcakes when they get home. And the person walks away, and then they continue their strategy talk. And it's like, it was like showing you like this is what people do to cover up their conversations, and because you don't think anything. People talking about food. I got to get away from this. I can't listen to this. Yeah, it's
a
just
good
one of those
strategy.
Things. Yeah. So, anyways, not knocking MC. Just you can kind of tell.
Well, as we
you
said,
can kind of tell how long somebody's watched Survivor by how they're playing the game.
It made for a fun scene.
Yeah,
and also, I mean, again, in this. Oh,
no
scene,
doubt. Yeah, I'd rather have the fun scene than not the fun scene.
MC is shown to be smart because we get the editing choice of Savannah talking and then get like completely blurred out or whatever, it fades to silence, and MC saying, I don't believe a word she's saying.
Good.
She has these evil eyes looking at me, these wide evil eyes, and I'm just still here doing the keys. And so I think this was really smart on MC's part and on Savannah. I mean, she found somebody looking for an idol who's not in her alliance. She did everything that she possibly could, even saying, I want to work with you, whatever. and then walking away because nothing was getting accomplished. So I think this was a really like two great players, good players having a moment in the show, and it was fun. And as you said, that came from somebody who hasn't even really watched the show much. So it was a good moment.
Yes, I'm. That's why I'm saying this wasn't like I didn't watch like an entire scene where MC's dumb. I just saw a scene where somebody is new, I guess.
Yeah, it made it interesting because where somebody who may not have known all the best things to do makes a somewhat of a faux pas, and yet still is shown to be smart and she
like
gets the idol.
MC's not an idiot. She's just new. Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like it's good to get a good variety of how good somebody is. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's. But if I feel like if somebody's a super fan on the island, like Savannah, I don't know if Savannah's a super fan. Like you want to check her preseason stuff too. But the fact that she was on top of like this is suspicious that MC is going by herself that far away. I don't know. That's a good move. That was a smart move.
Right.
Diving at the keys. Why not? Why not? Because the thing is, I don't think Savannah cared as much about getting the idol as much as she cared about MC not getting the idol.
Yeah, keeping her
because it stops MC's vote and everything. Not that I think that would have changed what we saw at Tribal. If anything, it might have hurt more. But like MC was like, guys, can you believe this? Savannah went and took the keys right out of my grip and everything, and now she has them. And Savannah's just like walking around with the keys on her, hanging off her belt or whatever, off her like a belt loop or whatever.
Right.
What does it say on the wiki?
Nothing much that I can tell. It's not blatantly like she mentions Kim Spradlin, which is kind of an older player, but that doesn't necessarily
that's 24.
mean anything. Yeah.
Sure.
So
I mean, it's a good answer for if you're saying a player I want to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, we then see basically that Sophi S is tired of Rizgod and Savannah, and really people like talk about getting rid of Rizgod or Savannah, but they're like, okay, but Rizgod has an idol. So look at this, a public idol actually doing some good, though. I wonder if Rizgod would have actually played it had it been secret. I don't know. So because everybody knows Rizgod is an idol and they're like, he's super close to Savannah. Look how he whispers as soon as I walk into camp. He's already whispering to Savannah as we walk into camp from our merge feast. I want to get rid of Rizgod or Savannah, but like he might play the idol for Savannah. So we got to go for the easy target or the available target, which is Nate.
Right.
And that is what happened. And that's kind of the same discussion on the other side of the fence where they're like, well, we got to go for Steven because he's vulnerable. That's how I gathered it. Right.
In their opinion, there was only Steven, MC, or Christina to vote for him. Those were the old Hina.
And Steven said it's going to be me. Christina's not as physical. And then we cut to a hammock just breaking with her in it. It's like, dang show. I mean, funny, but dang show.
Yes, that was pretty funny. Because yes, Savannah quickly spreads that MC probably has an idol.
Yeah.
So it's between Christina and Steven. Clearly it would be Steven because he's the bigger threat. And we also have some, I think, again, smart moments with Sophi B here where they're standing around talking, okay, who should it be? And Sophi B's like, guys, why is this even a question?
Yeah.
You all like Steven. There's a reason. Let's vote him out. Like, he's so likable and he's a good player and he's the better physical threat. Like, how is this even a question? So that was nice to see because, other people were probably thinking it as well, but she just really succinctly put it. Obviously, that's not what happened. That is not what happens because Joanne and Sage flip. Alex is with that group as well. So yeah, Savannah, Rizzo, and Nate and Sophi B are just kind of left out to dry. And I'm excited to see how they recover from this because, of course, that other group is going to have cracks. Things are going to happen.
Are there comebacks in horror films? Because Jawan brought up how this is a horror film like 3 or 4 times.
Horror film referencing. Yes.
Without ever mentioning a horror film.
Well, they can't mention anything specific.
Sure, why not? Paramount's made a bunch of horror films. Why can't they mention any of those?
I don't know.
Aren't they under the Paramount umbrella?
Does Jawan know which ones those are?
That's true. Jawan's over here mentioning like Universal and Warner Brothers movies, but not any Paramount movies. Possible. So much horror film talk, though. Somebody told me last week to like forget about it. That was just an episode 1 thing, and I'm like, I don't think so. I was like the name of the episode. There's a whole opening narration about it. It wasn't just like an offhand mention by somebody. It wasn't just in an ad. Like it was a thing, and here it is being a thing again because it's relevant. So who's the monster? Is it Savannah? Savannah's the only one acting like a monster. She went and attacked that chicken. Like she killed teriyaki. Did not care. She wanted food. Like good for Savannah. But if anybody's the villain, quote unquote horror movie villain, like it's Savannah, right?
Right.
So you guys are all going to get killed by her is what I'm being told. Nobody else is acting like this.
No one else is acting quite like Savannah.
No.
And that is concerning if you think she's going to win because she's such a clear target so early on.
Good.
Like she's going to have to win immunities like crazy. She's going to have to do a massive social game switch, I think. So she has she has a lot of work cut out for her.
On the plus side, one day when we show our kids Survivor, when they're old enough, they'll watch 49 not knowing that these people are on 50. So for them, it'll be like legitimately, surprising.
That
but for us
true,
who do know, for those who are like jump into the show after the season, not know, like maybe you don't know. Though I will say, Mary, so many new people watch Heroes versus Villains or like returning seasons first. And Masson will tell you, "Oh, I liked it," and it's like I'm glad you liked it. It hooked you into the show. I personally don't understand it. Difference of taste, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, so Rizgod at Tribal, he's like, I'm going to play the idol, but I think we all knew he wasn't going to do that.
Oh, that was such a yeah.
Yeah. Such a yeah. MC does play her idol, though. I was half expecting Sophi B to steal this thing. MC is on the opposite side. Why not steal her idol?
So my thought for that, and yes, she could have. Well, first of all, good on Sophi B for keeping a secret.
Yes.
Because that is important.
Keeps the target off her back.
It does. I think obviously you just want to save it until you really need it. She doesn't need it. She thinks she's in the majority.
She thought she was in the majority.
Even if she wasn't in the majority, her name's not on the chopping block in any way, shape, or form. She already knows where one idol is at. And MC...
She knows where both idols are at, actually. She knows where Rizgod and MC. Yeah.
Right. I mean, I'm saying she still knows where one idol is at.
Sure.
So she wasn't down and out or anything. I see your point. But MC wasn't the target at that moment. And I think if she wants to keep this secret longer,
right?
I don't know.
I think next week it gets played because here we are, right? If these three are really going to be, I don't know if you said Sophi B might flip to the majority. Very possible. She flips over to Alex with the majority. Mm-hmm. But if she stays with Savannah Rizgod, like let's say her hole's been dug, then this is the time. Okay, well now we have two idols, right? We have now it's not perfect by any means, but that's enough to scare people off from voting for us.
Right.
That should be thought. It's almost a Three Amigos situation. Mm-hmm. We just watched Caramon when they had two idols amongst the three of them. And then one of them won immunity.
Didn't end up in the long. You need more than just that.
But they played it. But they played their hand wrong by talking too much. That was what happened. But the move, I mean, they got one move, but they had another move in there if they hadn't played both idols. If they hadn't talked. Anyways, I talked about that in those videos. Anyways, my point is that if Sophi B stuck with them next week, she could steal an idol. If another one gets found, it has to be that's this situation though. She has to know who has it. Right. Like she knew about MCs. And
knowledge is important.
Knowledge is power.
This is how I see Sophi B playing. And I think this is excellent strategy. This is definitely like the Sandra strategy. Anybody but me. So whoever I'm with, whatever the majority is, wherever I need to go.
Matt said that strategy is boring earlier in the season. Then he got voted off that episode. So
exactly. Yeah. So I still have Sophi B high up on my winner ranking list because she is so fluid. And I think that's a good thing. And she's keeping her advantages close to her chest.
Right.
Good job. I don't think she didn't need it. Nobody in her alliance needed it that she knew of. She should have been fine and she was fine. So I don't think she needed to use it tonight. Okay. I see what you're saying. Like, free idol up for grabs. And now it's gone and out of your reach. But it's okay.
Whatevs.
Yeah. Whatevs.
All right. So MC plays her idol, ends up not mattering at all because no votes are on MC. Right. And Nate gets blindsided. Mm-hmm. What's the vote count? Does Wiki have that yet? Was that like a 7-4? I think it was 7-4. I had to be because there's only 4 votes against Steven. There's 11 of them. Hey, it was nice to have a merge episode where like people didn't lose their vote. None of this nonsense. Like, wow. Wonderful.
Yes. 4 votes Steven. The rest were on Nate.
7-4. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, hey, next week it looks like people are on the bottom. Again, I hope somebody finds the idol and Sophi B can steal it. Or maybe Sophi B just finds it. But I think it's more fun if she has to steal it. And then they have that little trio of gotta protect each other. Hey, it happened on Heroes versus Villains. Russell, I remember all those moves we made between Russell, Parvati, and like Danielle. They were getting a lot done as only 3 of them. Maybe that was pre-merge and then they got numbers. But you get the idea. Again, the correlations between... between these two.
Yeah, I just don't remember that well, but that's okay. I'm sure.
I've made so many videos about them. All right, well, let's move on to what's new on Patreon. I did make a post on Patreon. This is for all free patrons. that shows you which videos have been taken off of YouTube due to copyright and which ones I fixed, with links to the fixed videos. So if you want to check that out, as the pinned post on Patreon, link in the description. Again, your guys' Patreon is very supportive, very much appreciated, and supports the channel, because while we do have a sponsor for this podcast, let's be real, it's not going to be every podcast. Your Patreon does make the channel happen. I do have videos, so many videos up there right now. A few new ones that you can watch this week. Jeff going off script, volume 5. I think it's the 5th one I made, where Jeff just gets sassy. I actually did one for Amazing Race. Not as many of examples, so I think I'm only gonna be able to get 1, maybe 2 videos out of that idea, but I did do the host of Amazing Race going off script for those Amazing Race fans. And of course, another edition of terrible 4D chess moves, as I'm calling it, because there are a lot of times people on Survivor think they're making a 4D chess move and it just goes the opposite way of what they thought, along with some other story videos like Q, Devins, Jenna Lewis, a bunch of 50 people. Got a lot of story videos for 50 people. And right now there are 3 polls running for people you can, or sorry, not people, videos you can vote on, videos you can pick. There are 3 polls for videos to pick. This month, I think, Mary, actually it's 5 videos are being picked between the 3 polls.
Nice.
Yeah. So if you want to pick up to 5 videos, join today. Link in the description. But yes, if you do want to see, for those who, because I even got an email asking, hey, where did this video disappear to? Some of the videos I just haven't republished yet. They're unlisted. So I have links on the Patreon for you to click on if you want to watch them. It sucks. I mean, even up through last night, Mary, I got another notification from YouTube. It's like, oh yeah, we've blocked this video about why did Eric Reichenbach give.
Not Eric.
I know. Why did Eric Reichenbach give away immunity to Natalie? It's like, that's a classic video. It's like one of the first ones I made. Eric even shared it. It was put in an article on, I forgot what website it was because it's been 5 years. I was like, shoot, man, that just sucks. And it's blocked. It's not like just copyrighted. It's blocked. So you can't even like watch if you want to. That just blows, man. All right. Well, anyways, link in the description for that. Thank you all for supporting the channel. We appreciate it. All right, Mary, let's do winner analysis. Tonight, we're going to do our top 3, but tomorrow, Rebecca and I will rank the remaining 10 players. So I know that you and I don't have the same top 3. Rebecca and I have been kind of copying each other in a sense, our top 3. But you said one of the players I have in my top 3 isn't even in your top 3. So this will be interesting. Who is your number 3, Mary?
My number 3 is Sophi B.
Okay.
And again, for some of the reasons I've said tonight, I just think that she is such a non-threat at this moment. There's other people gunning for each other, and that's where you want to be in this moment. You want to be in the background a little bit. You want to be part of some of the big moves, or able to make some of the big moves, but not yet. So I think she's smart. I think she has an advantage already. I think she will be able to know where the numbers are and go with them. And she's just the sweet little puppy that everyone's going to ignore until the very end. So I think she's doing well and is in a pretty good spot, even though she may not be in the majority like she thought she was. I think she'll get back there. So yeah, I think she's a good player. She's definitely my underdog kind of win, I think, right now.
Sophi B for me is number 2, so I might as well talk about her now anyways. I'm with you. I think she's in a good spot. My concern at the moment is she's going to be stuck with Savannah and Rizgod, though we have kind of determined due to tribe divisions of 50, plus what Jeff said tonight. I feel like Jeff saying that tonight, I mean, we already knew in the back of our minds, like, okay, if you're on 50, you had to have done something to have earned your way into that season. I mean, on the other hand, they could have just been like, hey, we're reserving 2 spots. I'm sure, by the way, we're talking production before 49 Films, like, hey, we should save a couple spots for people from 49 because we're going to want some recency. We're going to need some people, the casual fans, like, you know, my family and your family.
Sure.
They just got done watching 49. They'll remember these people at least. Will they remember, you know, Ozzy? Maybe. Will they remember Coach? Maybe. Will they remember Stephanie LaGrossa? Probably not. But they'll remember these people from 49, for example.
True.
So some recency. Plus, they had an even split of 12 new, 12 new era, 12 old era, if you consider anybody before 40 old era. Really, I thought about today. I don't know why today hit me, Mary, but the split is really between the 2 casting teams. It's really between, it's the Lynn Spillman era versus the Jesse Tannenbaum era of casting. That's really what 50 is. Who will win, Lynn Spillman or Jesse Tannenbaum? It actually got me more invested thinking about that. But anyways, Sophi B, I'm just worried. I'm worried, but also my top 3 are of 3 people I'm mentioning. So number 3 for me is Rizgod. Number 2, Sophi B. Number 1, Savannah. I'm just throwing it out there because like they're all in the same boat and a lot is going to be determined. So I think it's very possible that all 3 of them that one of them could win, of course. I think it's very possible that they're all going to make moves, but making moves doesn't necessarily guarantee you a win.
No, making moves can put a target on your back, obviously.
Savannah's already got a big target on her back.
Massive.
Well, Mary, who's your entire top 3? So 3 for you is Sophi B.
Okay, 3 is Sophi B. Number 2 is Sage.
Okay. Wow, really?
Yes.
No, you need to explain this one.
Okay.
I already, if one is Savannah?
No, one is Savannah.
Okay, so why Sage 2?
Okay, so,
Pitch me.
I'm pitching you. It really was based strictly off of tonight's episode, so this is completely recency bias. But I just
and last week, right?
I didn't have her at 2 last week, no.
Oh, okay.
She has jumped up massively for me.
Wow.
I just think that, like we said, she's not taking anyone's crap. When someone lies to her,
no,
she sees it immediately.
Yeah.
She wanted Shannon out. She got Shannon out. She wants Savannah out now. We'll see if she gets Savannah. Obviously, if she gets Savannah out, I think that would be massive. I don't know. I just like the fact that she's playing this game and she's able to see people, I think, for genuinely who they are.
Right.
Or, it's just so important in this game to know who you can trust and work with and not trust. And I think she's found that. I think her, Joanne, and Steven have formed a really tight alliance that probably, it's been tested more than other people have been tested. So yeah, she's proven this week to be smart, to be strategic. Now, will she?
How do you reconcile the first 3 episodes being all bowel movement
somewhat of a hidden edit of a fun I mean, okay, let's be serious. She has the bowel movement edit or whatever, but then you have Savannah, who everyone says is a villain and evil eyes and all this stuff. So there's that edit, and these are our top 2.
The contrast between evil and farting.
Yes.
Okay.
We have the good, the bad, and the stinky.
Wait, who's good?
Sophi B.
Yeah. Glad we're on the same page about that one.
So I don't know. I think she is my wild card play. If this happened, it would be crazy, but I could see it happening now.
Okay. Well, I think we are all on the same page. And I don't think everybody and their mother knows why Savannah's number 1. And I'm waiting for, we saw cracks tonight. But really, we'll see. We'll see going forward, because at the moment, apparently, her and Rizgod are on their spawn to 50. What does that mean? I don't know.
Right.
I feel like the show is done way too much. I wish I knew nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But it was impossible to avoid. It was impossible to avoid.
Right. Well, and as we said, even this week, even though it seems really bad for Savannah now,
right?
If she's able to overcome that, obviously just strengthens her winner story and can be a really great ending to this season. It could be awesome.
I've watched it's like rewatching a movie. Even if I already know how the ending is, or rewatching a season of Survivor, even if I already know how the ending is, it's a different enjoyment, I will say, rewatching a season of Survivor or rewatching a movie versus the first time. The first time is the surprise. A lot of it's surprise.
Yes.
But if I rewatch Back to the Future, I've seen the movie 10, 20 times. I still enjoy it. It's still a great movie, but I'm not going to be surprised by anything.
Yeah, a good story is still a good story.
So exactly. So I will say, though, through the first 6 episodes of the season, whatever it was, through a week or 2 ago, it was kind of a dull season. So
I don't
hopefully,
disagree.
hopefully this episode was the real kicker. Last week it was interesting between Sage and Shannon, but this week it's actually gotten good. Hopefully it's just good through the end of the season. So at least we can all, in retrospect, be you'll see people posting why do people not like Survivor 49? I thought it was really good on a binge. Yeah, because you got to basically skim through the first half, not watch it one time at 1 week at a time like the rest of us did. All right, Mario, let's move on to trivia question of the week. Now, I think Rebecca and I think I'm beating Rebecca. Not that that matters though. Tonight, this is an exhibition. We're not competing for gold. We're not competing for anything. This is just for fun.
This is just for fun.
This is just for fun.
Oh, wow.
Whereas Rebecca and I doing it, it's for life and death.
Okay. Glad to know the difference.
I have one question for you. I know you told me you have 2 questions for me. Mary told me this before the podcast because she's like, what if one of my questions are ones that Rebecca's already asked? I don't want to accidentally repeat. So I'll answer both your questions, what I'm saying.
I don't think that's possible.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I do my question to you first, and then we'll do yours.
Okay.
All right. All right, my question for you is, And by the way, this question was specifically for you because it's about another show that you love. Which season of The Amazing Race last featured survivor teams? Your options are season 25, season 31, season 34, or season 38.
I am going to go with season 34.
That is incorrect. Season 31 was the last time they did it. Season 38 is the one that's on airing right now with all the Big Brother players. 31, Mary, was the one, remember, where they had survivor teams, Big Brother teams, and Amazing Race teams all competing?
Yeah.
Had like Rupert.
It felt more recent than I guess it was.
31 was such a great season. Highly recommend if you've never seen Amazing Race. It's a good, it spoils a little bit of Amazing Race, but honestly,
spoils a little bit of Survivor? Wait, Amazing Race?
I mean, okay, so it has Corinne and Eliza, has Rupert and his wife, and it has Brett and Chris from 33. So like, I guess, I'm just saying, if you're like looking for, as a Survivor fan, a good starting point, start with 30. 31's a really good season. Like, sure. It's a returning season, I guess, in a sense, because it does have a few Amazing Race teams back, but it's a really good season. If you like it, then I would encourage watching other seasons because 31 is like a really good modern season. Because like Rob and Amber on older seasons, but I'm not going to tell people to watch standard definition seasons for the first ones.
Sure.
Watch a modern one. If you like the modern one, all right, go back. Because Amazing Race is a good show.
It is a good show.
Yeah. We were watching it right before Survivor started tonight. Had to get some fun in our lives. All right, Mary, what's your question for me?
My question is, which one of the following seasons is one of only 4 seasons to have the entire final 4 come back as returning players in a future season?
Okay.
I know it's wordy, but here's the seasons. A, Pearl Islands. B.
So this is the season. Sorry, let me pause. Yeah. The seasons you're giving me are the first season that has the 4 people that come back at a later season.
No. There are 4 seasons where this happens.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Let me say it again.
Repeat the question. Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to give you a choice of 4 seasons.
I got that part.
Which one of these is one of 4 seasons? To have the entire final 4 come back as returning players.
All right, that makes sense. Go ahead.
Okay, so A, Pearl Island.
No.
B, Panama. C, Amazon. D, Guatemala.
What was C and D?
C, Amazon.
No.
D, Guatemala.
No, it's the second one, the Exile Island, the Panama.
B, Panama. That is correct.
Because it was Aris, Danielle, Terry, and Suri. They all came back. So you said you had a second question, I thought.
I have a second question.
Yeah. What is that? Okay, ask that one.
But it's all, okay. What is the first season to have an episode end with a tribal council vote, but no elimination?
Oh my gosh. You should have, that's the hard one. What's that? Okay, go ahead.
Well, it's also Panama. That's why.
Why would you spoil it? I didn't.
You said, okay, go ahead. Because I didn't do multiple choice for this.
It was just an open-ended question?
I would have done the same multiple choice.
I can tell you what episode it was. It was the one where it was the final 4 vote in Panama, and then they tied, and it cliffhanged. It was the only time they've ever cliffhanged an episode.
It was a cliffhang.
That was a good question.
I was going to use the same
options. You still could have done that.
I still could have, I guess.
That second question was a good one. I would have figured it out once you gave me the options, but yeah, that was a good questions.
Thanks.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's move on to your all's questions that I asked for on YouTube as soon as the episode's over. As always, I have massive favoritism to people I actually see commenting on podcast/videos. All right, Mary, our first question that I need you to answer. This is from the bottom of my heart. You ready?
Yes.
The bottom of my heart,
I feel like
Mary.
It's not going to be actually a question.
Philly Loyal says, hear me out. Sage might win this season.
That's what I just said.
So I said it's from the bottom of my heart. That one's for you.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right. Next one is from JT to win. Would the season be redeemed now that Savannah and Rizzo have an uphill battle to get to the end?
I think it would make either one of their stories much better. Yes.
Okay.
Like if either one of them won, it'd be better. Yeah.
I had it in my eyes and I thought I can't find it anymore. I want to give credit to the person who actually said it. So apparently on the Propaganda podcast, unless they deleted their comment, on the Propaganda podcast, they claimed that the reason they didn't do an Earn the Merge because of Jake's medevac.
Yeah, I see that.
You see the comment?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, give them credit. Who is it? I can't find it.
Blue Devils 481991.
Yeah, thank you, that person, for telling me you have it on the Propaganda podcast. That's good to know. All right. That explains, but why is Jake medevac? Why? Okay. So Jeff said they were doing their tribe split no matter what, despite Jake's medevac, but now we're claiming the merge couldn't happen because of Jake's medevac. What? I'm so confused. So they're telling me,
I don't know.
So apparently Jake made the season better.
Thanks, Jake.
Thanks, Jake, for getting medically evacuated because they didn't do it. Survivor had to have their hand forced not to do the nonsense. That's what I'm seeing. And then Randall Westgard says, look at Sophie finally getting some screen time.
Sophie S, I assume.
Yeah, Sophie S, of course. Yeah. Could you imagine somebody being like, Sophie B just doesn't get enough screen time? I think only Sophie B would comment that. All right, next question is from M. Pierre. Would it be smarter if Hina voted for Savannah instead of Nate, Mary?
Yes, obviously. I think that Savannah is clearly the bigger threat. And they know, I mean, so the possibility of Rizzo playing his idol is there. But you have to look, like, if you look at the statistics of idol plays in Survivor, I don't know the percentage, but I would guess there's a tiny percentage of people that play their idol for another person. It's so unlikely. It was unlikely for Rizzo to even play it for himself. He clearly said that to his tight alliance. So I think it would have been smarter to go for Savannah. She's clearly the better player, clearly the bigger threat. I mean, is it better to be safe than sorry? Sure.
Okay, so let's think about this more from, would it be smart to take her out from the perspective of, let's say we don't know who's on 50. Let's say 50 is not even happening, right? Let's just say this is another New Era season that we don't know anything about beyond. Does Savannah look like the bigger target than Nate?
Yes.
Why is that?
It could be the edit so far, but Savannah is the one that's constantly trying to make relationships with people, trying to talk to people. She's asking people questions. She's constantly like in everybody's business, it feels like.
That's true.
So
it's true.
And she's not a bad, competitor in challenges. I don't know. I just think that so far she's clearly has a handle on everything.
Between her, Rizgod, and Nate, she's the biggest target of the three still. Okay.
Nate seems to have been kind of carried by her and Rizgod. Like he was shown to be really uncomfortable with this new tribe. He was older than everyone.
He would have been taken out last week had his tribe gone tribal.
Yes. And sure, he did that one little trick with MC or whatever, and that was good for him. But just in the edit so far, like Savannah's just playing all the time. And everybody recognizes that.
All right, Mary, let's move on.
Okay.
Movie review.
Yeah.
We just watched this one last night again.
We sure did.
Okay, so the movie we're reviewing this week, because Survivor is a story, but this season we're also exploring other stories. Basically movies / TV shows are on the table too, of things we actually recommend. Now this week, I will say, big asterisk to the recommendation because the movie you're talking about is Fargo from 1996, directed by the Coen brothers. And I will say there's a lot of language. There's a lot of blood.
It's definitely not a family show.
It is a hard R, and I rarely recommend a hard R movie, but this is a hard R in terms of the rating. So heads up, like, they not recommend this for anyone under 18. Normally we try to find stuff that most people could watch, but this one, not so much. I'll have links in the description on where to stream it. But yeah. So Mary, we just watched it last night. Holy cow. Like I've seen it. And even then I'm like rewatching. I'm like, oh, I mean, it's just like one mistake after another. And not the movie, just the plot. Like how like one thing leads to another, and just like the hole gets deeper. So basically the basic plot of this movie is there is a car salesman he's embezzling cars, embezzling money.
He's embezzling from his company. Yes.
Embezzling from his company.
Falsifying documents.
He works for his father-in-law at this car dealership, and he's embezzling money. And he's basically so caught up. He owes so much money, and he's like at his wit's end. At first when I watched the movie, I remember thinking that he's supposed to be like the character I'm rooting for. Thankfully, that's not the case.
Yes.
Thankfully, it's not the case because I'm like, there's nobody. I'm not rooting for anybody in this movie. And he hires people to kidnap his wife so that he can then get a ransom from his father-in-law to pay off the embezzlements. Just like a terrible
Smart
plan.
decisions. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. I know. What did you think, Mary?
Okay. So the only reason I really, really like this movie is because of the main character that you do root for, which is the police chief, which is a pregnant, I want to say like maybe early 40s.
Very stereotypical
woman from Minnesota, like the Minnesota. Yeah. It's just so funny. Like the juxtaposition of her and who she is compared to like these bumbling villains.
And she shows up to like crime scenes and like like this, all the serious stuff happening. She shows up like, yeah.
It's really, it's not supposed to be funny. Maybe it is supposed to. It's supposed to be funny.
Yeah,
it is pretty funny. So yeah, the good guys who are like just salt of the earth, Minnesota people.
Yeah.
Versus like, you know, obviously the villains who keep making mistakes and stuff. And like one of my favorite scenes is after. Are we doing spoilers? Never mind.
No, we're not spoiling the movie.
Never mind.
No,
one of my
just
favorite
reviewing the
scenes. She has like this total mom moment with a criminal is all I'll say. And she's like scolding him. So
yeah.
it's kind of funny.
It's crazy how much happens too, because the movie's only like an hour and a half, but it feels like 2 hours worth of stuff has happened, but only an hour and a half has happened. Like it was a really well-paced movie. And it's crazy to me that basically the main character you're rooting for doesn't show up till I think a third. I didn't time it. Like a third of the way through the movie. So for like a third of the movie, you're like, oh my gosh, all these terrible people. Who am I supposed to be like caring about? And then she shows up and you're like, oh, thank goodness, there's somebody to root for. So absolutely excellent movie. Again, hard R, lots of language, lots of blood, definitely violence.
Not actually a true story.
Oh yeah, it starts off with this is a true. It says this is a true story in all caps. What an amazing moment when Mary watches the entire movie and thinks this is a true story, and I'm like, I knew it wasn't
based off a true story.
I remember watching it and thinking this is a true story, and I looked it up and it's like no, but I don't think that's really a spoiler. I mean, maybe it is for somebody, but just when you watch it, it's not a true story. That's just, I think it's part of what they're selling you on though. Is that like, hey, we're saying this movie in 1987 because this really happened.
Mm-hmm.
So it almost like gives them in my opinion, a little bit of leeway, a little bit of like, okay, like, well, I can't knock them for not having a good character, you know, because there was no good character. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, excellent movie. Recommend. Definitely a caveat to the recommendation, but good movie for sure.
Yes.
All right, movie. All right, movie. All right, Mary. She rolled her eyes.
Yes.
Yes. Tomorrow I'm doing our winter analysis with Rebecca. So tune in for that. Next week, Rebecca will be back on the Wednesday Night Podcast with a special guest. And Mary, you're going to be back to winter analysis. Hopefully the second half of the season just keeps improving.
Yes.
Because the first like 6 episodes, what a snooze fest. What a snooze fest.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, we thank you all for listening. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.